You weren't meant to be modest. You were meant to be magnetic. Your purpose requires visibility. And because it does, modesty will feel like suffocation for you. It will feel like you're dying. And you are in more ways than one. Some women aren't meant to live quietly, and not because they're loud or obnoxious, no, but because their presence carries power, wisdom, and information. If you're meant to speak, create, lead, perform, influence, or shape culture or this world in any way, shape, or form, your body already knows it. That restlessness you feel when you try to stay small, that's not your ego. That's your body telling you you're misaligned. You were taught that modesty would keep you safe in the world or in the spotlight, that softening your presence would make you more acceptable, more palatable, that visibility is something to manage carefully and cautiously, apologetically. But for women called into the public eye, modesty becomes suppression. It becomes suffering. Your work requires resonance. Your message requires embodiment. Your presence is part of the transmission. You can't hide the energy of someone meant to be seen. Magnetism isn't performance. It's coherence. It's what happens when your voice, your body, your desire, and your purpose stop fighting each other. When you let yourself take up space without explaining why. When you allow yourself to be felt, not just heard. When you stop minimizing the impact you naturally have on any room you enter, in any environment you're in. Visibility isn't vanity for women like you. It's your mission, it's your purpose, it's your responsibility. Because when you shrink, the message distorts. When you soften your power to appear palatable, your work loses its edge. The world doesn't need you to be modest. It needs you to be embodied. It needs your confidence uncloaked, your pleasure unapologized for, your authority felt before you even speak. Magnetism isn't something you turn on. It's something you activate. It's something you contain. It's something you remember. And the moment you do, the right audience doesn't just notice you. They recognize you, they honor you, and they worship you. In more ways than one. If you're meant to be seen, shrinking isn't humility, it's avoidance. Not only is it avoidance, it is forfeiting your divine God-given mission. But let me tell you why. Welcome to Alchemity, because turning power into pleasure is sexy. Of course, we've changed the motif over time. We are the alchemists who've turned pain into power, now turning power into pleasure, and now turning our pleasure into purpose. I am your queen bee and the creator of this colony and the many colonies we're building around our globe, hell, around our galaxies at this point. We're building temples around our galaxies at this point. I am your queen bee, Miss Burgess, if you're nasty, aka Nova, also known as the Gypsy Empress, also known as Honey, also known as Sunshine. If you know, you know. If you got your copy of the erotic siren call over on my Patreon, okay, then you already know. Shouts out to my Lilith sirens, to my Eve sirens. Who's that girl? La da la da la 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 la. Shouts out to my honey sirens, to my sunshine sirens. If you threw her pussy in the air, it turning to sunshine. You already know, for my Harlem Nights fans out there. If you know, you know. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it, okay? Shouts out to my charmed sirens. Shouts out to my Luna sirens. And shouts out to my Grace sirens, okay? Many of you flow fluidly through all 7 sirens, i.e. your 7 chakras. But in order to flow up and through your body, into your power, into your purpose, activating your pussy's power, which is God power, which is the power of magnetism, attraction, manifestation, creation, the power to give birth to things more than just babies. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, we have the power to bring life from the spiritual world into the physical world through our bodies. We can birth babies. What else can we birth with the power of these pussies? I'm curious, aren't you? Well, we're not curious anymore because we have tapped into this power. But anyway, in order to move fluidly through all of these powers in our bodies, in order to activate all of these sirens within us, in order to embody these siren energies within us, we have to begin at the root, in the soil, in the dirt. And you begin with your Lilith energy. Okay? The beginning of the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. The dark mother womb. You have to begin in the dark, in the shadows. Get your copy of the Erotic Siren Call. Also become a member over on Patreon. Let's get into this message. Listen. Okay. You aren't meant to be modest. You're meant to be magnetic, excuse me. If you are here at Alchemity, okay, this is for you. You are one of the activated alchemists and chosen ones. You are the one feeling called to do this work on a root chakra level, on a womb level, on a yoni level. You are one of the ones who you know that you are called to do this work in your body in order for whatever is in your body that you're activating to pour out into your life. Those of us here know. Okay, as divine feminines, these are for my divine feminines, but for my divine feminines, we turn pain into power, power into pleasure, pleasure into purpose by tuning into our bodies. That's on a nervous system level, that's on a hormonal level, that's on a health level. Because whatever work we do within on an energetic level, whatever work we do in our bodies from within, that pours out into every area in our life. People, places, things. Career, money, love, relationships, friendships. When you do this work on a root chakra level, when you start to do this work in and on your body, people think that you gain like more friends and more relationships. And no, when you actually do this work on a root chakra level, raising that Kundalini serpent fire power, dragging up through your body to your crown, to be crowned, so that you're sitting on the throne of your power, of your purpose, and of your pussy. The throne is your body, by the way. Okay. When you actually do this work on yourself, you lose friends and relationships and people and places and things. People think you're gaining more when you do this work on yourself. You're actually getting rid of a lot of shit. People, places, things included. This isn't about gaining more. This is about attracting and magnetizing what's in alignment with you, your power, and your purpose. This is about attracting and magnetizing what you now hold a vibrational frequency to. When you're truly doing this work, it isn't about gaining. It's about getting rid of shit that isn't in alignment with who and what you are, your mission, your purpose, and your power. Are you hearing me? This is why many of you have traveled on the dark night of the soul journey. This is why you've been on that odyssey. Many of you, maybe you're on the dark night of the soul odyssey right now, right? If you're hearing this information for the first time, this is just confirmation for you. If you find yourself in a place in your life where, people are leaving, relationships are ending, jobs are ending, like it feels like every time I turn around, something else is gone, something else is leaving, This is when you're truly in alignment or coming into alignment with who you were meant to become and what you were meant to become. Are you hearing me? Let's get into this message. Again, you weren't meant to be modest. You were meant to be magnetic, okay? In order to be magnetic, all of the shit that is no longer in alignment with who you're becoming and what you're activating within you, that's got to get out of there first. That's got to leave first. Things have got to end. Things have got to break down. People have got to go because they're no longer a vibrational frequency. In order for you to be magnetic, shit has got to burn. For my phoenix is rising. Things are going to burn around you. I'm hearing Adele. I set fire to the rain. Watched it burn as I moved your face. Right? I set fire. Watch that shit burn. On purpose. This is how you become magnetic. This is how you start to draw unto you what is now a match to who you are becoming and to what you are activating, to what you are remembering as a divine feminine. You ain't meant to be modest, baby. You're meant to be magnetic. I keep looking down because I got notes in front of me. As y'all know, I will go off on a tangent, okay? So let's break down all of these components. So if you're meant to speak, create, lead, perform, or influence or shape culture or this world in any way, shape, or form, your body already knows it. Many of you, like I did, suffered from extreme levels of anxiety. Let's try this again because the sound went out. But anyway, so many of you suffered from extreme levels of anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts like I did because you were trying to hide away and push away this pull, this calling that you felt towards being seen, being felt, being experienced, being heard, right? I remember, I've had this memory a couple of times. I'm feeling guided to share it with y'all, but I remember my sophomore year of my undergrad. There was a good friend of mine, his name was Courtney, and he was an art major. And he asked me to pose for a project that he had to do for class. And we had cultural enrichments that we had to go to every so often. So there was this art exhibition that was happening on campus at the art museum on our college campus, and I went to LaGrange College. And so I get to the art museum, and lo and behold, my pictures that my friend Courtney took of me are plastered all over the museum wall. There were different sections that each art major had to display their art or whatever. And he had, I remember, 4 huge blown up photos of me in an art museum, in an art gallery on my college campus, which was a very prestigious school, a very prestigious art gallery. People would come there just to watch it, just look at some of the exhibitions that we had on campus. And so when I walked in, I'm surprised because he didn't tell me. Y'all remember that episode? I mean, that scene from 50 Shades of Grey, Anastasia, when she walked in and her friend had pictures everywhere. She was like, I'm everywhere. They're big, right? That's how I felt when I saw that. And I felt so insecure about it, but I was like, oh my God, I had no idea he was going to do this. Most beautiful photos. He took amazing, beautiful black and white portrait style photos. And I forget what he titled them, but there were some girls on college campus, of course, sophomore year of college, who hated on that, right? Because I didn't know how to take hate, I shrunk into a place within myself, like even standing there, because I could see them like whispering and saying little stuff. Whatever they could find that they can insult about the photos they did made Courtney feel small about his art, made me feel even smaller because it was me on display. And so I think they were saying stuff like, the next time you want to take pictures of her, tell her to flat iron her hair better. It was something like that. They were saying just anything they could find and whatever it was. And so because I didn't know how to take the heat that attraction brings, because I didn't know how to take the heat of spotlight. Remember, when you're in the spotlight, not only are you attracting love and the people that honor you for what you do and who you are and what you're called to do, but you're also going to attract the opposite, people that are hating you for the same reasons, right? When you're in the spotlight, you got to be able to take both. You got to be able to take the love and the hate. It's 2 sides to the coin, right? So many of you, like I did, suffered from extreme levels of anxiety because you didn't know how to stand in the heat of the spotlight. You didn't know how to stand in the heat of love or in the heat of hate. As a result, we've suffered, right? As a result, we experience being stuck and stagnant and being the target of hate and mockery because we weren't fully in our power and in our confidence to say, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. It's me and not you. Yeah. Yeah, it's me on those portraits and on that wall and not you. Good job, right? Good job, Courtney. At that time, I didn't have the language or the confidence to even understand how big of a deal that was for me to be used in an art exhibition. How big of a deal it was for me to have been the chosen one. As you activate in your power and your purpose and your sensual energy, as you do this work on a root chakra level, as you do this work in your pussy and raising that power up and remembering who the fuck you are, remembering your erotic purpose, you become the chosen one. You become the one they choose. You become the one they want. You become the one they adore. You become the one they admire. Right? Then you get to a place of being a chosen one to doing the choosing. We'll talk about that in another video. Right? But you are the one that they choose. The question is, are you equipped with the responsibility of being a chosen one? Are you equipped with the responsibility of being in the spotlight, of being called into the spotlight, of being called into leadership roles, of being called to speak, to do, to create, to be seen, heard, felt, experienced? Are you ready for that responsibility? Heavy is the head that wears the crown of an activated, chosen one in the spotlight. Let's keep going. So I'm looking down because I have notes in front of me because I'm trying not to go off on a tangent. If you're meant to speak, create, lead, perform, influence, or shape culture or this world in any way, shape, or form, and if you're here at Alchemity, you most likely are. Many of your missions and your purposes, again, are to be in the public eye. You're supposed to be speakers, dancers, leaders. Some of you are supposed to be congressmen, congresswomen. I'm seeing Meghan Markle. Maybe you're going to be marrying into royalty and going to be in the public eye and have to shake hands and kiss babies. Many of you are supposed to be on the pageant stages, pageant queens, hosts, dancers, makeup artists, hairstylists. All of that stuff is in the public eye. Teachers, counselors, therapists, all that stuff is in the public eye. You're having to deal with the public directly. You're not at home doing... you're not at home just behind a screen typing up memos and stuff. And you're probably not like a technical, what you call it, people? Because I used to do this work. Oh my God, tech support. You're not going to be in tech support. And if you are in tech support, it's just something you're doing part-time to earn a little money. I get that. I've been there, done that. But you ain't in tech support. That's not your mission and your calling. Many of you are in tech support and being called to come out of that shit because you're supposed to be in the public eye. Let's keep going. So again, if you're called to speak, create, lead, perform, influence, or shape culture, and you are, if you're here, your body already knows it. This is why many of you experience that onset of what we call anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. You feel, you probably experience panic attacks because there's something inside of you so big and so fiery and so passionate. The only thing you've taught yourself to do was suppress it, hide it, keep it away because it was too much, because you didn't understand, right? Or you weren't ready to handle the responsibility of what your body was calling you to do. I'm hearing your body's calling for me. I can hear it calling me. Body's calling for me. Tell me what's your desires. Here I come, baby, to save you. Wow. Oh. Let me take you higher. Oh my God. Okay, I know that's R. Kelly, and I know we have our thoughts about R. Kelly, and I understand he did some stuff, okay? But this ain't about R. Kelly right now. This is about those lyrics. Spirit is so fucking clever. Your body is calling. The ancient wisdom inside of your body is calling you. Answer the calling. What's your desires? Here I come, baby, to save you. Ladies, we've been waiting on a savior, and the savior is within. Oh, I don't care what your religious beliefs are, but ain't nothing coming out that sky to save us or save you. We have to save ourselves. And the way that we save ourselves is how? Answering the calling of our erotic missions and purposes, stepping into the heat, into the flame of our attraction, being in the spotlight, taking that heat and the responsibility that comes with being in the spotlight. How do we save ourselves? Stop hiding. They are meant to see you, feel you, touch you, taste you, experience you, smell you, in more ways than one. Okay? Ooh, with your desires. Here I come, baby, to save you. Ooh, let me take you higher. This is your body. This is our bodies talking to us. What's your desires? We can create them. We can give birth to our desires, not just through having babies, okay? We can give birth and create our desires. We have the power to do that once we do this work on root chakra level, once we learn how to commune and listen to the voice of our pussies, which are guiding us to our purpose. Once we embody the siren energy that's been calling to us to embody so that we can fully step into our missions and our purposes. Oh, what's your desires? Here I come, baby, to save you. Do you hear your body tell, just for a moment, can you hear your body's wisdom and power, God energy, which is in our bodies, which is for us divine feminine? It's in our wombs. It's in our yonis. Yes, it's in our pussies. You want to listen to God, listen to your pussy. And I ain't talking about listen to your pussy when it tell you to call Tyrone and Mike and Marcus them. You got some work to do on yourself. We ain't talking about your vaginas. We're talking about divine feminine wombs and yonis. There's a difference between the female's vagina. There's a difference between a female's pussy and a divine feminine's pussy, baby. It's different. It is different. Okay. Let's keep going, y'all. Y'all know I'm crazy. Okay, listen. Here we go. So you were taught that modesty would keep you safe in the spotlight. I did too. We were taught that, but not only were we taught that, we taught ourselves that shit. Because whenever we decided to step into the spotlight, the hate came. Just like the example I gave of my pictures being up in the museum. Okay, look it up. Very prestigious, large museum, right? But we taught ourselves that modesty would keep us safe. Playing these overly humble roles, shrinking, hiding, turning the other cheek, like, oh no, no, I just. And I'm not saying you just be like, yeah, I'm all that and I'm here. Oh. No, that's not cute either. That's not what we're talking about either, okay? There's a level of mental health and emotional intelligence that is required in order to stand authentically in the spotlight as well. Because people can sense when you fake confidence too. They can sense when you fake like you know who you are and what you're doing. I can. If you're a divine feminine, you damn sure can. The world can, especially with us being in the Aquarian age. People can sense the fake shit from a mile away. And I ain't just talking about our hair, because I don't give a damn if you know this is a weave or not. I tell you it's a weave. So why are you talking about fake like that? We're talking about this on an energetic level. People know the truth by the way that it feels, by the way that you feel energetically. Okay? So again, we were taught that modesty would keep us safe in the spotlight because, again, whenever we stepped out, the response we got was who she thinks she is. She thinks she all that, right? We didn't know how to take the heat that came with being in the spotlight, the heat coming from love, admiration, and hate. Many of you as activated alchemists and chosen ones, if you hear, you have experienced a lot of hate. By this time, you should know how to take hate. By this time, we done been through the run of the mill when it comes to hate and mockery and slander and having haters. We have gone through it. But it ain't nothing like what you're going to experience once you step in the spotlight. Do you know what celebrities go through, the kind of stuff and comments they get from people? Whatever people can say that is wicked and evil to try to break you down, they will even say something about your mama. But now, baby, when you say something about your mama, when you say something about mama, that's when I'm hiring a Secret Service agent. I'm going to be at your door. Mama them is off limits. Say whatever you want to say about me. But baby, if you talk about mama, it's on. I'm going to be at your door. I'm going to be at your door. Listen, when you get in the spotlight and you can afford getting a Secret Service somebody, baby, we coming to your door. If you talk about mama, say what you want about me, but baby, leave mama out your motherfucking mouth, shawty. Okay? Let's keep going, y'all. All right, listen. I'm so crazy. I crack myself up. Are y'all enjoying this? If you're enjoying this, make sure you like this, okay? Make sure you hype this video and make sure you get in the comments too. I want to hear from y'all. Y'all have been silent in the comments lately. I don't like that shit. You better talk to me. I don't like talking to myself. Talk back. Okay. For women called into the public eye, modesty becomes suppression. It becomes suffering. You literally feel like you're suffering. When you're called to be seen, heard, felt, experienced, and you reject that calling, you're rejecting God's calling on your life. You're rejecting your divine mission and purpose. This will cause you much suffering, and I know that because I've suffered. I've suffered in love. I've suffered in money. I've suffered in health. Do you know when you don't answer the calling on your life to step fully into the public eye, if that is your calling, that your health is negatively impacted because your nervous system knows it, your hormones knows it, your gut knows it, stress starts to set in, cortisol levels increase, and we're wondering why, like, what a weight gain coming from? Because you're not in the public eye. Why my skin breaking out? Because you're not in the public eye. Why my nails breaking? Because you're not in the public eye. Yeah, it's that deep. Become a member over on Patreon. All right. Also, for those of you who are ready to work one-on-one with me in activating your mission and your purpose through your pussy, remembering your mission and purpose through your pussy, equipping yourselves mentally and emotionally to handle the heat of the spotlight because it's your mission and your purpose, it's time for you to work one-on-one with me. The information is in the description box. Just email me. Okay. Let's get to the last part of this. I keep looking at my notes. Remember, I have some notes in front of me. When you allow yourself to take up space without explaining why. When you allow yourself to be felt, not just heard. When you stop minimizing the impact you naturally have in a room. I'm sorry, I missed the part. Let me go back up. Magnetism isn't performance, it's coherence. It's what happens when your voice and your body and your desire and your purpose stop fighting each other. Ooh, let me just hop on that for a minute. Magnetism isn't performance, it's coherence, it's alignment, it's understanding, it's an understanding, it's a remembering. Okay? When I say remember, you are remembering why you came to this planet, why you were born, other than your parents just having a wild night. Why are you really here? When you remember that, okay? When you remember that, your voice, your body, and your desires and your purpose stop fighting each other. When you let yourself take up space without explaining why, when you allow yourself to be felt, not just heard, when you stop minimizing the impact you naturally have on a room. Okay? Your mission, your body, your voice, your desires, your purpose all stop fighting each other, and you become a full-fledged human. You become truly in alignment with who and what you are and why you came to this planet. Visibility isn't vanity for women like you. It's your responsibility. Whew. Say that one more time. Visibility isn't vanity for the divine feminine. Some of the divine feminine, you are healers. Not even some, all of you, divine feminines. You are healers. You are medicine women. You are empaths, clairvoyants, clairsentient, clairaudient. It's important for you to heal your witch wound in order to get to the point of being in the spotlight. Because if you cannot accept that you are probably a descendant of witches, if you can't accept that you are most likely a reincarnated witch yourself, witches meaning women who had the ability to heal, to create healing tonics. She could heal through her voice. Witches can heal through the way that we look, the way that we smell, the way that we sound. The sound of our voice can be healing. That makes you a witch. The fact that you have the power and ability to woo and have the allure of magnetism. They called us witches. They called our ancestors witches because the divine feminine ancestors, our divine feminine ancestors could walk into a room and make men fall to their knees. All she did was show up. Shouts out to my descendants of Cleopatra. Shouts out to my descendants of who they called Jezebel. Jezebel didn't have to sell it. I throw it around. She was powerful in her own right. Shouts out to my descendants of Medusa. You know why Medusa turned men to stone? Think about it. Think. I don't have nothing. You know why Medusa turned men to stone? You know why Medusa turned men to stone? Something on them hardened. All she did was show up. All she did was smile. All she did was let her locks down. I'm just saying, become a member over on Patreon. Listen to the Sacred Sex Goddess series. I think I'm going to end it right here. This is going on long enough. Here's the last part, okay? Magnetism, you being in the spotlight, isn't something you have to turn on like a switch. It's something you stop containing. It's something you activate, okay? When I say magnetism isn't something you turn on, relatively true. Magnetism is something that you arouse within you, which is basically being turned on. I'll leave it at that. Become a member over on Patreon, okay? Again, it's something you stop containing. It's something you activate. And the moment you do, the right audience doesn't just notice you. They recognize you. They honor you. They respect you. They value you. And for many, they want to worship you, okay? If you're meant to be seen, shrinking isn't humility. It's avoidance of your responsibility. It's basically telling God, and God, this is basically throwing your gifts, your abilities, all of the good, juicy, yummy, delicious stuff that Creator gave you and throwing it back in its face, his face, her face, their face. Saying, no, I don't want none of that. And the reason you don't want it is because you're afraid of the responsibility that comes with being endowed. You're afraid of the responsibility how should I say this, Spirit? You're afraid of the responsibility that comes with it, and the responsibility that comes with it is being in the spotlight. Throwing back what you've been gifted with spiritually, physically, emotionally, aesthetically, in your voice. It's like throwing it back in God's face, saying you don't want that. Let somebody else do it. And guess what? That's where destiny swappers come in. Somebody else will try and do it, but they'll never be able to do it like you, but they will do it. But it was meant for you to do. Yeah. That's your throne to sit on. Yeah. Somebody else will sit there, and they'll sit there and they will reign until you show the fuck up and show out. Anyway, I'm going to leave it right here. We've gone on long enough. If you're ready to remember your magnetic and erotic mission and purpose that requires you to be in the public eye, if you're ready to activate your purpose, your power, through your pussy's power, okay? The way that we do this is through our yonis, it's through our wombs, through our pussies. We got to remember it there first. We got to raise that power and that remembrance from there to here first, to here first. All of this starts to activate and align once you raise it up from down there. If you need some help being equipped with what it will require you to step fully into the heat of your magnetism, of your attraction, and be fully in that spotlight, be in the heat that comes with the spotlight. Work one-on-one with me. Information's in the description box. Become a member over on Patreon. Shouts out to my Initiate and Come members, cultivating and unleashing through masturbation. Come. Yes, I know. Listen, I can't say too much here on YouTube, y'all. I think I've said enough. That's why I keep getting shadow banned. That's why I need y'all to hype these videos, because the things that I say here on YouTube is like, oh, I don't know. Just hype the videos. All right. Don't forget to get your copy of Activate. We're talking about the witch wounds and healing the witch wounds. Start there at Activate. Okay. Get Activate first. Become a member. Then become a member over on Patreon. Become an initiate. Then evolve to Come membership. Then decide to work one-on-one with me. That should be your odyssey. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad y'all are here. Welcome to Alchemity. Thank you for subscribing. If you're new here, thank you for continuing to be here. If you've been here for some time, this is your colony. Alchemity is a colony because this is where we get buzzing around the information. Patreon is the temple. It's a sacred, sensual temple. That's where we do our deep erotic dives. If seeing body flesh, if hearing the word pussy, if seeing certain body parts bothers you, don't become a member over on Patreon. Don't do that. That's where some of my most sacred, explicit content is. When I say explicit, meaning you are seeing certain body parts and things like that. But that's what we do as alchemists who activate through our sensual energy. You're not ready for that? Then don't become a member. Anyway, I'll see y'all. I'll speak to y'all in the next episode. Ciao for now.